This is the Big O Show.
Where can you take $10,000 off the 2026 Acura MDX? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our all-stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help.
Where can you drive the new Acura TLX for only $399 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good morning. Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll on the show with the one and only Sean Stanley. All right. On a beautiful March 12th, 2026. Let me get the chat board going here. I haven't even put up the chat board. Now we've got it going. There we go. Welcome aboard. Hope you all are doing well out there. We are hanging in there ourselves. March 12th, 2026. Day number 19,047 since our beloved Miami Dolphins were world champions. Day number 8,830 since the Canes were national champions. I'm counting on Mario to reset that clock next year. Okay? So get it done, Mario. Get it done. Anyway, welcome aboard. Please smash the like button. It's very, very important you smash the like button. Get the algorithms going as always. And you can also hit the notification bell. That way you know when we go live. And, of course, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults. We will read them here on the air, on the show. Bitcoin, by the way, is at 70,229. The markets, I would imagine, is going to be a bad day because, I don't even know why they bounced back so quickly earlier in the week because, some guy says, "Oh yeah, no, the war's gonna be really short. It's good. It's almost over." And it's like, bro, that's ridiculous. So the markets got duped with that, and they just bounced back right away, and it just kind of stupid. Some investors out there are kind of dumb, overall, because you're gonna have much more volatility, and this is gonna go on for a while. So hang in there. Okay, right now the Dow is down 492 points. The S&P is down 61, and the NASDAQ is down about a half a point. So that's what you've got going on so far. Got some Dolphin stuff to talk about that we'll get into. Here on the show, we got baseball. By the way, for the USA, they advanced in the World Baseball Classic. Did not see this coming. Italy beat Mexico 9-1. I didn't even see Italy advancing. I didn't even think Italy had that kind of team to advance. And they smoked Mexico yesterday. So remember, we were talking about if Mexico won with 5 runs or more, they would have advanced with Italy. If they would have won with 4 runs or less, they would have advanced with the United States. Or if Italy wins, then Italy and the USA advance. So it's kind of the USA would have been out in a weird scenario if Mexico would have won by 2. Then those 2 would have advanced. Would have been insane, dude. But anyway, it didn't happen. So DeRosa doesn't look like an idiot saying, "Oh, well, our ticket's already punched." And so now we advance, and there you go. And the DR obviously took care of business against Venezuela, 7-5. DR is 4-0, Venezuela 3-1. Those teams are awesome. So it's good stuff. Good. The atmosphere that you'll never see in Marlins Stadium for the remainder of the year, which is, unfortunately, they're not going to capture that kind of. But opening day, they'll get in a bunch of people, and then after that, obviously, it'll fall by the wayside. Unless like some hot team comes to town, and we have like a lot of their fans in town. Like let's say the Mets are kicking ass, and they come to town, then it'll be packed with Mets fans or something like that. That may happen. Or if the Yankees or whatever. I don't think the AL East is on the schedule this year. I haven't even checked, because I really don't care, and I don't even plan on watching, so it doesn't really matter to me. But I was watching that going, this is just like, what a shame that we don't have a real team here, and it's, we don't get to enjoy real baseball here. We got to have a bunch of cheapos that are trying to pull a smoke and mirrors bullshit on our fans constantly and lying to them. So, but hey, man, people are suckers, so they fall for stuff, and we've had people that continue to fall for it. So it is what it is. Anyway, tonight the Heat are back in action, take on the Bucks, and the Panthers are back to take on the Blue Jackets. So we got a little sports watching tonight. One of the things that I have there on the headline, it says Heat Bam silly argument. And for me, you guys know, if you listen to the show, you know what I'm saying. Yesterday I talked about it, where I just think it's a silly thing where we're comparing this 80-point game and that 80-point game and this 100-point game and that 70-point game and comparing this player or that player. And like I told you guys yesterday, none of those individual accomplishments actually is the identity of that player. When we think of Kobe, it's the 80-point game is nothing. We think about the championships. We think about the relentless play and big moments and big games. That wasn't a big game. And for Wilt, same thing. And for Bam, you're not going to use that game as a measuring stick for who he is. So for me, all of this is silly, right? Now, here's the bigger silly discussion out of all of this, and it shows you where we are at media, how desperate we are, how we use anything for a topic, and then we bullshit the audience, and we lie to you people all the time. Not me. I do what is not popular constantly. Brutal honesty, okay? We are discussing and arguing, not here. Here, I'm just making fun of your ass. You know, kind of like quarterback competitions. Like when people bring up that stupid subject, which is like the dumbest subject there is in the NFL. There's no such thing as quarterback competition in the NFL, dumbasses. You know, this is the other thing. Are we discussing regular season records? So, hey, Sean, does the Heat put up division banners? It sounds to me like you don't even know the answer. No. Okay. Because he looked like he was a little nervous about it. No. Because winning the division in the NBA doesn't mean anything. At all. Doesn't mean shit. So we're talking about records that are in the regular season. The regulars. Do you even take the regular season serious? Because I haven't taken the regular season serious in decades. I don't even care about the regular season. I don't worry about the regular season. The playoffs is what matters in the NBA. Titles and conference championships. That's what matters in the NBA. That's what they hang. They hang the conference championships, they hang the championships, and then they hang any MVPs or whatever. So I'm like, they don't even hang the division. Do you know why? Regular season basketball is meaningless. And I'm watching all these idiots on TV and radio and writing, and they're all arguing, and they're all getting all bent out of shape, talking about a regular season game. We're talking regular season basketball. Might as well use the Allen Iverson line. We're talking regular season basketball. Not a game, regular season basketball. Who cares, dude? It was a nice moment. It was fun. Enjoy it. It's over. Move on. Whatever. It's just like, why are we going to degrade the whole thing when everybody does it? And it is what it is. Dude, I've watched people get triple doubles by hitting the backboard on purpose to miss the ball and get another offensive rebound and then the putback because they needed the rebound to get the triple double. It's regular season basketball. It's a cool accomplishment. It's fun. It means nothing. Nothing. Because in the end, when we get to the playoffs, if Bam Adebayo isn't scoring 30 points and leading you every night to wins, what does that 80-point game mean? Nothing. Nothing. Because that 81-point game by Kobe is not what you measured him by. You measured him by what happened in the playoffs and in the finals. Kobe had a whole bunch of great regular season games in his career, and so did Michael Jordan. But we talk about the playoffs and the finals. We talk about his 6 titles. We talk about all his NBA MVPs. That's what we talk about. The regular season doesn't mean shit to us. Never has. It's not something that we talk about. It's been decades. Sorry, kids. Regular season, if you're really old like I am, the 80s regular seasons and 90s were a little different. But for decades now, the regular season hasn't mattered. It's a joke. It's a joke that they don't even play it. They don't even play all the games. They don't even try playing hard every single night. The league is a joke overall in the regular season. And we're going to sit here and get all bent out of shape one way or the other for regular season accomplishments. Come on, man. Just enjoy the moment. It was fun. Move on. Don't take it serious. It's regular season NBA basketball. Some of you, I think, really need to get laid. I think so. I think there's a lot of people that don't get laid enough. I really do. I really do. Just, wow. Let me get all bent out of shape for regular season basketball. Whew. Anyway.
By the way, our friends at Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. In fact, we'll be there tomorrow. And they are the number one Acura dealership in the Southeast United States. They got the Spring into Performance sales event going on right now. You can get the new 2026 Integra, $249 a month, 2.9% financing for 60 months. The 2026 ADX, $319 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX, $399 a month, 2026 model, 3.9% financing for 60 months. Remember, they're built here in America. 2025 TLX Tech, we still have it. That thing is loaded. $399 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The MDX, which is considered like, maybe the best SUV out there, reliable, a tank. It's amazing. Inside, it's got every extra you can possibly ever want. The MDX is just an amazing vehicle. Right now, the 2026 model, $499 a month. It's a joke of a price, 3.9% financing for 60 months. That's a lot of car for that kind of money, dude. Okay? That is one of the highly rated SUVs in the world, that MDX. So check it out at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And you tell Larry Schlossberg and all the guys out there, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, anybody you see out there, tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. At Craig's Inns, Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Let's see. What do we got going on? Anything going on? Okay. What else do we have? All right. Barry Jackson, by the way, put out the official numbers for Tua, because today they made the roster move officially, like they released Chubb, and he's got a new home. But Tua got officially released, and Barry Jackson put out that the final cap number for the release and the cap hit and all that kind of stuff this year, Tua's cap hit will be $55.4 million. In 2027, it'll be $43.8 million, giving them a little bit more flexibility than the 61-33, whatever that they were going to do instead. So now you got a 55-43 split instead of the 60-30, whatever it was going to be, right around there. So now they've got a little bit more cap space. Obviously, signing the quarterback and that kind of stuff, they had to do it. They had to rework a deal and everything. So they're tight overall, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, that you've got now. And Tua obviously already got a home in Atlanta. Yesterday, Bradley Chubb also was released as a June 1 cut, and he ends up agreeing to a 3-year deal with the Buffalo Bills worth $43.5 million. It can max out the $52.5, 29 of it guaranteed. So it's definitely a 2-year deal overall. That's what it is. It's a 2-year deal, and then the third, it all depends on how good he plays and all that. I hate that he's signing with Buffalo, but I'm happy for Bradley Chubb. He was one of those guys that I had a lot of respect for, the way he played the game. I thought he was a pro's pro. He got screwed by Mike McDaniel a couple of years ago, playing in a game that at a point where he had no business being on the field and suffered an injury. And coming back from a knee injury, he had a hell of a season for a guy that was not a year removed from that injury. So, I don't overlook shit like that. This guy can play. He's a good player, man. I wish him the best. I hope he doesn't have good games against us. But, the Dolphins are going to be a really bad team this year. So it is what it is. I'd like for the Dolphins to kind of bottom out. They kind of need to bottom out in a bad way. It would help. But anyway, you got that. And then the other moves, Darrell Baker, the cornerback, Zane Anderson, the safety. They re-signed Matthew Butler. AJ Green, the corner, Willie Gay, they brought back. They did that during the show yesterday, I think, when we were on. Lonnie Johnson, the DB, whatever, bro. Just a whole bunch of guys. 1-year deals, keep yourself flexible, all that kind of stuff. So we'll find out what kind of team they have. It's not something that I'm going to waste my time talking about it, about a bunch of 1-year players and guys that are just here, to kind of get by for this one season. So you had all those kind of transactions go on yesterday, plus obviously the TUA number, which was important. A lot of people wanted to know what was going to happen with the TUA number and the cap hit for that one. So that is good stuff going on. For the Dolphins, don't forget, folks, on Saturday, the ladies in Fort Lauderdale will be hosting Jacksonville. Fort Lauderdale United will be hosting Jacksonville. And Brianna Scurry, we're going to have her on the show on Saturday. She's going to serve as an honorary captain, and as part of Women's History Month, the Fort Lauderdale United FC, South Florida's only professional women's team, will host a women's empowerment match on March 14th, this Saturday, at Beyond Bankcard Field. And they'll be taking on Jacksonville, and Scurry will be there. And she's going to be holding a soccer camp, too, for young ladies. And if you want to find out more, go to ftlutd.com. If you want to take your daughter, maybe she's a soccer player, an aspiring soccer player, she gets to meet Brianna Scurry and take part in a camp with her. That is freaking awesome. So if your daughter is available for a world-class event at Fort Lauderdale, make sure you sign up. Go to ftlutd.com so you can find out more information. You can also go to their social media pages and follow them, too, on Instagram and on Twitter, at all the places at FTLUTD. All right. What do we got here? Jeff in Long Island. Good morning to you, sir. Jamie Zori out in San Jose, reminding everybody to smash that like button. Thank you, sir. Ty in the Bronx, I see. Skylar Tipton in sunny Chicago. Good for you, bro. Stony Stanley in the house. Cosa Nostra. The Horn Dog. Frankie Fresco. Did you hear that Iran won out? Yep. I mean, Trump gave them the, Iran can participate. And they're like, yeah, shove it up where the sun don't shine, buddy. And so, yeah, they're not coming. But that's a good thing, Frankie, that Iran's not coming. It is. It's really good because now England and Germany, now they've got a chance. I mean, right, Sean? If Iran went, forget about it, dude. How do you compete with Iran? It's impossible. They take the pitch, they send out drones, they take out your team, and they score all they want. So they were going to win the cup. But they were, it's not fair. We'll give you guys an opportunity at it. So Iran and the drones are not coming. And so there you go. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe they're also playing and they're dropping mines on the pitch. And, wouldn't it look pretty? This wasn't going to be a pretty World Cup if Iran was going to participate because, weapons of mass destruction on the pitch is not really a good thing. All right. Oscar Rojas is there. He's in Melbourne. Have you been to the Melbourne Zoo there, by the way, Oscar? Have you been there? It's a really cool little zoo, dude. I always used to go to that zoo when I used to go to spring training for the Marlins. When they'd send me up to that hellhole for a month, and I'd have to cover the Marlins or whatever, or walk into a morning where Jim Leland is half undressed, and he's got his dangling breasts, and he's chain smoking one cigarette after another, and sipping on a chocolate milkshake at 7 a.m. in a room where you're like stuck with the manager for 45 minutes, and the guy has smoked half a pack of cigarettes, that kind of stuff. I used to go to the Melbourne Zoo to kind of unwind and clear out my lungs from Jim Leland fucking polluting them. So, yeah, I used to do that. The Melbourne Zoo is actually really nice, Oscar. I don't know if you've been there. Really enjoyed the little walkway and all that, the wooden walkway that's elevated and all that. It's really cool. They did a nice job with that zoo. Really nice job. Haven't been there in years. I need to go. Frankie says the DR is winning it all. They could. I mean, definitely. You know, our manager may not even figure out how to get to the final game. He might get lost on the way. So, yeah. Let's see. I texted you yesterday on the chat board that Italy is a very good team with some big-time heavy hitters. They went undefeated in the United States pool. Well, bro, I mean, pasta. I mean, pasta, wine. So it's the key to life. So key to baseball, too. Mike Piazza was pretty good. So you might be onto something there. Cosa Nostra. No QB competition. How will Quinn Ewers get a shot at the starting job? Come on, Big O. Some guy on Twitter is like, well, you know, they signed also Willis so they can add competition to the room. And I just tweeted back, another fool that thinks competition exists in the NFL. Like, where is that, bro? Why do we lie to people? And why does media make up shit like that doesn't exist? Listen, there's no quarterback competitions in the NFL. Nobody does that shit. The only people that do it are scrub teams that have no quarterbacks, like the Cleveland Browns, that have 87 quarterbacks because they have no idea. It's so funny. They actually, no, they don't. They don't hang division banners. The Heat doesn't hang division banners. They don't hang division banners. They don't care about division banners. Division banners are like a joke. They've won like 22 of them or 30. The entire arena would be like would be stuffed with division banners. It'd be like really ugly. Be too much. It's that when you go to the Heat arena, it's only the championships, conference championships are there, conference titles, and then the MVPs. What else is there besides Marino and Jordan hanging out in the background? Oh, the retired numbers. The retired numbers. Yeah, that's what's there. They don't put the division. They don't put the division. It's nothing, bro. Division is nothing. They don't care about it. Jeff in Long Island is there. Since AC Milan isn't in the World Cup, go Italy and the USA. There you go. Go pasta. Trip, Brian, Rosendo. I remember when I was in elementary school, when the Dolphins won the division, it didn't mean much to me. Why? I always oh, yeah, that is true. Back in the day when we were really good, it was like, yeah, we're supposed to win the division. I remember that. Yeah. God. I remember when I used to walk into the Orange Bowl and like, we're kicking your ass today. We're walking away with a win, and it didn't matter. We didn't care who the quarterback was. We didn't care anything. Didn't matter. We expected the Dolphins to win in the Orange Bowl. Yeah. God, I miss those days. Horndog says, I feel you. Who's this 80-point game was better between Bam and Kobe is absolutely mental masturbation. Both are great accomplishments, and Bam will never do it again. Exactly. Whatever, bro. Who cares? Just enjoy it. Have some fun. It's just regular season, dude. Means nothing. Just a fun little moment. Let it go. Noodle Arm Tua is gone. Sam is happy. The Big Johnson is in. Ray Varnicus. Anyone surprised the Dolphins have signed so many free agents? I thought they would not be. Well, they're signing scrubberinis, dude. They're signing one-year deals. It's nothing. It's not. They're not committed to any. They have to fill roster spots, you know? So, yeah. Big O, tanking doesn't work. It doesn't work if you don't know how to draft. And since you don't know how to draft, tank, because that may give you a better chance at finding a pick, finding a player. You know, staying in the middle has not paid off for the Miami Dolphins. They need to bottom out. Winning 6 games this year doesn't get you anything. It's useless. Win 0, 1, 2 games. Be the number 1 pick. Be the number 2 pick. Have a chance at the top quarterback. Make it easy for yourself there instead. The Dolphins constantly make it hard for themselves. They never tank. So might as well. You have the opportunity. Put it this way. If you would have tanked, you might have ended up with Burrow. So that would have been better, right? But you didn't. You ended up winning games for no reason, and then you ended up with Tua, who then didn't get to finish it off because he was injury prone. Well, you didn't protect him either, but, that is what it is. So, let's see. Actually, they're not bad one-year deals. I mean, whatever, bro. It's just to get by. Again, not going to get hung up on this, I get for Dolphin-centric sites, that's all they have to talk about is Dolphins. But, I'm not going to sit here and start breaking down the Darrell Baker contract and who the player is or Zane Anderson or AJ Green or any of that shit. I'll wait till they actually play and then say, hey, that's a good signing. Hey, that was a bad signing. Hey, that was all right. Whatever. Hey, that guy's a keeper. We'll wait till they actually waste my time talking about bullshit. Yeah, no. I'll let other people that have no choice but to talk about that bullshit because that's all they can talk about. Let's see. What else? Mr. Spock, Finns scrapping the bottom of the barrel in free agency. Agree with Big O. The team will be a 3-4 win team tops. Yeah. Let's see. Bro, Big O, Sully needs to have the best draft in Miami history for the team to even have a chance to compete. A ton of holes to fill. Exactly. You are realistic, sir. Rusty, good morning from cloudy Saratoga Springs. Currently at the Springs, filling up some water jugs. Good old Saratoga water. Yeah, baby. I haven't gotten it on sale. I need to get it on sale because it's still a little expensive. So I loaded up on Voss on sale. So I'm Vossing right now. As long as I do the glass, then I'm good. I was an ass doing a lot of plastic. I got to do the glass. So I'm waiting. I need Saratoga to go on sale. Anybody know if Saratoga's on sale in any supermarket? By the way, I saw something so man and so woman yesterday on social media. It was one of my favorite quotes I have ever seen on social media. And it describes society perfectly. I know that. And here we are. Where is it? Because I want to make sure I read it right. Because it's such a great line. Where is it at? Oh, come on. Oh, here we are. Some guy named Old School Eddie. I don't even follow the guy, but it just comes up on my timeline and I see it. And if I feel like reacting to it, I'll react to it. He goes, men socialize by insulting each other, but they don't really mean it. 100% true. Women socialize by complimenting each other, and they don't really mean it. That is men and on average, because you're always like going back and forth. You're an idiot. It's just something you say. You don't really mean it. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things that men communicate. Oh, don't be a moron. It's just kind of the way it is. And then women are so nice to each other constantly. Like, oh, wow, I love your hair. I love your clothes. Oh, I love your shoes. This, that. And then they walk away. Oh, shoes are freaking horrible. Right. So it is the truth. It is the truth. See, men or guys, like if you're wearing some ugly shoes, you probably could take some shots. It's not the way women do it. You know what I mean? They don't take shots at each other for ugly shoes. Men will. I remember when we were kids, if you didn't have the proper tennis shoes and you went and got some tracks from Kmart or some shit, somebody then walked up to you and said, Bobos, they sell for $1.99. Bobos, they make your feet feel fine. Because you had Converse or Nike or whatever it was, Adidas, Puma, whatever it was on your foot. So it is that quote is so perfect. That describes men and women perfectly. Men socialize by insulting each other, but they don't really mean it. Women socialize by complimenting each other, and they don't really mean it either. It's a great line, dude. That is a perfect line describing society on average. Oh, man. Let's see. What else? Cosa, I've heard Mike Piazza lives in Italy. It's the best Italian baseball manager. Haven't been following the WBC. I only follow certain games. You know what I mean? I don't really follow the whole WBC myself, actually. Like, I watched yesterday's game. Dominican. I did not watch the Italians win. I did not watch that game at all. I just saw the results coming up on my feeds and all that. That's about it. I didn't watch that game, but I had to watch the DR in Venezuela. That's like a real baseball game, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was pretty awesome. That was awesome. And I didn't know Mike Piazza lives in Italy. Italy's a great place to live, dude. Except for Bitcoiners because of their taxes. Renee, Sean, can you please show him a photo if they Google it? Oh, I don't know. If they Google it, go ahead. Do they Google do they have the division banners? The Heat? I don't remember any division banners.
Renee, I Googled, does the Miami Heat hang divisional banners? The Miami Heat does not hang divisional or conference championship banners in the arena. The only banners are NBA championships, retired player numbers, but they do hang the conference championships now.
This is like the second time that this guy texted.
Yeah, no, he was trying to prove something, but he doesn't want to look it up, so I will prove him wrong right here.
I know, but this is the kind of shit I block people for.
Okay, I'll block him. Let me know.
You know what I'm saying? Just so you know, Renee, this is the kind of shit because you're a lazy fuck that didn't check yourself to then come back at me.
The reason is they used to hang it, but they took it down when they wanted to have a championship-only policy.
Of course. Or no, they have conference.
No, yeah, but conference championship stuff that means something, not divisional banners that they win over the Orlando Magic every year and all that stuff.
Right. But, dude, there's probably people that hang what's that stupid tournament in the middle of the year? You know, if you're going to be adamant about something, dude, you better back it up on the show. You better be right. Don't waste my goddamn time. Anyway. Jaybird in the house. He's smashing it. Rosendo says, also, we have a first year. Let's see how he coaches these boys. Hopefully he can establish discipline into the team, and hopefully they play without penalties and good time clock management. Exactly, Rosendo. I want to see if fundamentally you can develop a team. I love that. I love smart fans. Anyway, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, and insults. We got a 69,833. We've been screwing around up and down right around 70 right now. The markets, let me give you the latest. I think we're down over 500 points right now. It says 503 at the moment, but you know, sometimes when I pull this thing up, it needs to refresh a little bit here. But it says 503, and the S&P is down 64, and the NASDAQ is down half a point. True FinFan, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Says, can't make it tomorrow, bro. Doctor's appointment at 10 a.m. All right. Well, I hope everything goes well. Hope there's nothing serious. I hope it's just a checkup. Hope you're good, my friend. That's all that counts. That's all that counts. It's on demand, so you can hit it at your discretion, sir. Pipe Man Slim says Terrence Howard. Yeah, I saw that. It's just I actually talked a little bit about it yesterday or the day before, mentioning in a segment. He's just a stupid mofo. And he tied it to fiat. Like, no, it's not tied to fiat. You know what I mean? Yeah, Terrence Howard is a dumbass. But that's our dude. Like there is some guy complaining because you have people that are pro one crypto and then negative about every other thing and this and that. And a lot of them are going to survive, and there's going to be usage for a lot of them. Obviously, Bitcoin number one. But like there was this hardcore Caspa guy, and I love Caspa, and Caspa has the same characteristics of Bitcoin. And he's all, Bitcoin and the gold thing, and it killed Bitcoin and this, that. And, I went back at the guy and I said, dude, relax. I own both. The problem is education, which Terrence Howard has none. It's all about, adoption, education, and then the legality of it. And that's why we need the Clarity Act eventually to pass, because there's $7 trillion sitting on the sidelines in money markets. Those people want to invest, but they cannot invest until there are laws and rules in place for everything Bitcoin and crypto. And when that happens, then that money will start to flow in. They're waiting for that Clarity Act to pass. Once it does, it gets Bitcoin. I've seen it already with several banks and their CEOs and people talking about how they're waiting. Once the Clarity Act passes, they're instituting Bitcoin into every aspect of the financial market. So what I told the guy was, it's all about adoption, education, and then the laws. Once you have all of that in place, then Bitcoin will then explode to kingdom come. People will be using it in education, and they'll understand what it is. Because a lot of people are stupid like Terrence Howard, and I don't blame them. They just say, money, and they printer, and then they don't understand money, and they don't understand energy. And then that's where we're transferring. The world is going into data centers and AI and solar and wind and turbine, and everything is about energy. Okay? Energy is money. Well, guess what? The only money in the world that's energy is Bitcoin. It takes about, right now, it's down around $60,000 of energy to create one entire Bitcoin. It takes energy to move Bitcoin across the networks. So you have validators, you have miners, you have all kinds of people that are getting paid along the way. See, money, our money, doesn't take any energy to create. It's just a money printer. So it gets devalued 7 to 10% every year because they keep printing more and more of it. That's where your inflation comes from, right? And where Bitcoin started was 8 digits behind a penny. That's when it was tied to fiat, when it was 8 digits behind a penny. And now it's $70,000, and the dollar hasn't grown like that. The dollar has gone the other way, as you all notice. But Bitcoin continues to grow in the other way. People look at the dips, but they don't look at the overall gains. So if you stay with it in time, the gains will continue. You know what I mean? So, and this is where we're going, where the blockchain, where money needs to be productive and it needs to be constrained, limited, so it has value. If you keep printing it and printing it, it gets devalued. And that's what's happened in every great empire. Everyone that's had their chance in Germany and Spain, and everyone that's had a chance to have the world's currency has always ended up failing and dying. Why? Because it gets watered down and watered down and watered down. And in the past, they used to get the gold or silver coins, and then less gold, less silver. So it was worth less and less and less. It was still counted as the same, but there was less value in it. And that's why when Nixon took us off gold in the early 70s, our money was no longer worth anything, because now they can devalue it and they can reprint it and reprint it and reprint it. So, and that's where it all comes from. And people don't understand that. And that's where the transition is coming. And eventually it'll happen. But it's just going to take education, it's going to take adoption, and it's going to take legal. Once that happens, that's what I told the Caspa guy. I said, once people understand Bitcoin, and they're using it all, then they'll realize Caspa, and Caspa will become the silver. And that's what I'm anticipating. But Caspa right now is where Bitcoin was 8, 9 years ago, 10 years ago. It's completely like unknown, right now. And that's the beauty of it. And so you can get it really cheap. So you can get it like at 3 cents right now, and then just stash it and wait, and that's kind of what it is. So dude, this is all, I've gone through this over and over again. I'm not worried about it. I just know where we're going, and just look at all the rich and powerful people. Guess what? They're stacking Bitcoin. So I think there's some people stacking Caspa, but they're just kind of keeping it in the background. So when it does, they're in the game. By the way, we are down 622 points in the Dow. We are not 46.7. Okay. But remember, once we get back to 50, the Dolphins will go to the Super Bowl. That's the Bondi rule. The S&P is down 81 points and the NASDAQ is down 0.5 point. Okay. There you go. And where are we at with Bitcoin? 69,479. It's actually stayed pretty strong throughout this disastrous stuff going on in our economy. All right, Ocala Joe, morning. So using that logic, I'll say you're handsome, not men. Thank you, Ocala Joe. That's exactly it. See, woman walks. Oh, you look so handsome today. She doesn't mean it. Did you see? He had a piece of frijoles stuck in his tooth. Crazy when she walks away. That's all. That's what's going to happen. They need to hang a banner of TUA to piss me and others around. That would be fun. Pat in Asheville, we were poor growing up. I'll never forget going to school with Sky City plastic sneakers one day. Wore them for one day. People knew better than to screw with me. I had that I know scowl. Rosendo says, thank you. It comes from listening to you all these years. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Let's see. Havana Lou Big O, do you think Sully will re-sign Jack Jones? I have no idea. I don't know this guy. We're going to get to know him. I do know this about Sully. Well, at least this is the impression I'm going to get about Sully. He ain't doing things the Packers way. He's doing things the Dolphins way. And that part is a sad start. Because the Dolphins way is to put a young quarterback out there on a bad football team. That's what we've done here now for several decades now. We did it with Tannehill. We put him out there. He had nobody. And he took beatings. Luckily, he was a tough kid and he can handle it. He couldn't play, so the pressure, he's a scatterbrain. That's not good for him. And then we did it with Tua. Put him out there, Jesse Davis at right tackle, and, terrible offensive line, and he's getting killed, and we're starting him against the Rams. And, we do the most evil shit with quarterbacks. And here comes Sully, who gets sullied by the Dolphins stank, because Jimmy Johnson was a champion until the Dolphins stank. Saban was a champion before and after the Dolphins stank. Bill Parcells was a guy that was known for winning and turning around programs until the Dolphins stank. And in Green Bay, when Brett Favre started, he started with a ready-made team. And then they drafted Aaron Rodgers, who they groomed and seasoned. And then when he was ready to start, the team was already set. He was just replacing Rodgers on a ready-set team. And rinse and repeat, they did the same thing with Jordan Love. And guess what? The guy that's here Malik Willis, when he stepped in to fill in for Jordan Love, he stepped into a ready-made team. And that makes the quarterback's life a lot easier. That's the Green Bay way. That's why I thought, why would you waste any money on a big-time quarterback? Build the trenches first. Let's build the team and then make the investment on the quarterback. But my man got here to Miami, and Sully got sullied by the Miami Dolphins stank, and he's done what has happened in the past. Maybe this kid has got a little something to him. Maybe not. But it's harder to find out when your team sucks. And that's our problem constantly. We don't help the quarterback. We don't assist the quarterback. When Tannehill left, he had real support, and they could actually do something, not because he was anything special. It's because he was with a supporting staff, because he desperately needed it. And if Tua can get healthy and those guys are better coaches and they have better overall talent, he might actually have more success over there if he gets healthy. If he's the same guy from the last year and a half, there's no chance he'll succeed. But if I'll give him a chance if he can fix whatever happened to his body. But all I know is that we keep doing the same shit over and over again, and it doesn't matter. The faces change, but we do the same shit over and over again. So I don't know how Malik Willis is actually going to thrive in a bad offense. That just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So we shall find out how good. If he thrives, then these guys are pretty good coaches. And if he thrives, then these guys are pretty good evaluators. But if he doesn't thrive, then they failed. They failed in putting a person to succeed in a failed position. And if he can't play, then you failed in your assessment also. But right now, at this moment, I am watching a broken record. Sully got sullied. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. Always appreciate that. Whatever it is that you send in. All right. By the way, do want to remind you about Welton Rayom, proud sponsors of our program. We love Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom, and sadly, we got a lot of bankruptcy that is happening around the country. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. Car repos are at an all-time high. House foreclosures at an all-time high. People are backing out of home deals at an all-time high. There's 44% more sellers than buyers in the real estate market. These are all facts, bro. Okay, I follow all of this. And I also know that bankruptcy is at an all-time high, and that is something that can happen to me next week, next month, next year. It can happen to you. It can happen to any of us. It's not something to be ashamed about. But if you're dealing with it, Welton Rayom can help you. 954-966-4646. Get those creditors off your back. Homeowner property damage, condo damage, commercial litigation, personal injury, something happened to you. You don't know if you have a case or not. The consultation's free. Pick up the phone. You call Jeff, you call Dan, explain your situation. They'll tell you if you have a case, and they'll attack them. And by the way, if you suffer any damage to your property, never call the insurance company. I know it sounds crazy, but you don't need to. You call Welton Rayom. They send their adjusters. They assess the damage, and then they attack the insurance company. Then the insurance company can send their adjusters, but they can now battle. And they can tell them, no, you're wrong, this, that, boom, boom, boom. And they did it for me. And they crushed Progressive Insurance. Progressive got their asses kicked because they weren't being legit with us. 954-966-4646. Rat a rat. Let's see. Correct. It's the Brevard Zoo. It's in Vieira, 5-10 minutes north of Melbourne, and it used to be the spring training site for the Marlins. Never been to go to the zoo, Oscar. Go to that zoo, bro. Take a little afternoon. Go check. I don't know if you like animals. I'm an animals guy, so I love, being around. I got 4 dogs, so obviously I love animals. So yeah, if you can, dude, go check it out, man. It's a really cool little zoo. It's right there. Jeff in Long Island, thank you, sir. The Jaybird says, got to thank Italy for beating Mexico to help the USA advance to the quarterfinals. I agree with that, sir. Let's see. What else? Terrence Howard did mathematically prove that 1 by 1 equals 2. Or 1 times 1 equals 2. I got you. My Dominican brethren were blasting some shots last night out of the park. But Venezuela fought till the end. Venezuela's good, dude. It was an excellent game. Venezuela's good. But the Dominicans are loaded, bro. Loaded. Let me tell you, man, I've set my sights on Panama, but the Dominican was one that was kind of thinking, but they're still in the hurricane alley, so I'm not leaving a hurricane alley to go to another hurricane alley. So that's the only thing. But, man, the Dominican has got some tempting places to go hang out, great deals, great real estate deals there. St. Michael says, I'm with Big O on the Willis signing. First, I don't think he's the answer. Second, if we're going to tank, then tank. Clearly, Ross learned nothing from the signing of the Fitzpatrick. Exactly. It's like you winning is not a priority this year. Lose. That's why I'm telling you. I almost feel like the old man sat down with Sully and then said, all right, we're excited. How fast do you think you could turn it around? That kind of stuff. So, I don't know. Very little talent in cap hell, but hey, let's spend more money on a QB that's played 3 games on a really good, well-coached team. I see nothing but promise. Can you taste the sarcasm from True Fin Fan? Oh, man. Frankie Fresco, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, didn't New Orleans secure QB Breeze and then built the roster around them? How is that any different with Malik and the Dolphins? Actually, I think Breeze went into a team that was pretty decent, and then they but remember, Breeze it's different. He was accomplished. He came off a hell of a season. He was playing for 4 years. It's a signing Drew Brees. Watch, I'll show you. Okay, because you probably didn't look up the stats the last 2 years of Drew Brees' stats in what's it called in San Diego, and I'll show it to you. Look at the free agent you're signing. At that moment, they drafted Phillip Rivers. So they had no choice. They had to make this move. They had to dump the guy. And by the way, he ends up becoming a better quarterback than Phillip Rivers when it's all said and done. But here you go, my brother. The last 2 years in San Diego, he played 15 out of 15 games. They went 11-4. He threw 27 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Completed 65.5% of his passes. The last year, they went 9-7. He played all 16 games. He threw for 3,576 yards, 64.6, and he threw 24 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. Not as good, but still, okay? So he threw 52 touchdowns and 22 interceptions in the last 2 years in San Diego before he got traded. So you're trading for Drew Brees and trading for Malik Willis that's apples and oranges. It's like, it's not even close. Okay. Malik Willis was a 3rd round pick. Drew Brees was a late 1st round or early 2nd. I forgot. He was like at the end of the 1st, early 2nd. I think it was early 2nd. I'm not exactly sure now. Now I'm forgetting. Maybe he was late first. No, I think he was early second. But either way, it was right there in that 30s area where he got taken. So he was taken pretty high. He went to the Rose Bowl, all that kind of stuff. We can't compare Malik Willis out of Liberty to Drew Brees, who had much better breeding in the Big Ten and went to a bowl game and all that stuff. And then, the first 2 years were a disaster for him in San Diego. But then the next 2 years, he started to turn the corner, and then that's when he took off. By the way, his first year in New Orleans, he threw for 4,400 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. By the way, I can do this right now too, which is a beautiful thing. Wait a minute, right here. Here's where I'll do it. Where are we at here? Reggie Bush, Deuce McAllister, Marcus Colston, Devery Henderson, Joe Horn. You think he had weapons there, young man? So you traded for him, but you gave him Bush, Deuce McAllister, Marcus Colston, Devery Henderson, and Joe Horn. So I don't know, man. You tell me. Apples and oranges. First year. I guess he had some weapons. Right? So, yeah. Not a good comparison, Frankie. I appreciate the super chat, but not a good comparison. Not even close. Not even close. If you're telling me we're trading for Drew Brees, oh, wait, we had that chance. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgot. Wait a minute. If you're telling me we're drafting. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Dolphins fans. It hurts, bro. It hurts. It hurts. Jeff in Long Island says, how long before you say, I've seen enough of Willis? Oh, I don't know. I got to see it before I don't know. It's an impossible hypothetical, my brother. I gotta see what happens. But I also, here's the thing now, I have to grade him on a curve. He's got a shitty team around him. I'm sorry. When he lines up, let's go back at Frankie's expense. When he lines up is Reggie Bush, Deuce McAllister, Marcus Colston, Devery Henderson, and Joe Horn. There, I'm just wondering. By the way, even Terrence Cooper, who now I remember the guy, he had 385 yards and 3 touchdowns, Terrence Cooper. So, it's kind of funny. No, it's a different ball game. So I gotta grade him on a curve because I know he's limited. He's not a great passer. He really can't live in the pocket. He's gonna be running a lot, and then he's also on a really bad football team. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't even know, will they have injuries? And if they have injuries, then a bad football team gets worse, and then that's even tougher on the young man. Like I said, it's so Dolphins. It's not Green Bay, it's Dolphins. We may have Green Bay South, but we've been sullied. Let's see. Willis has Waddle and Achane. Okay. I get it. Do they have Sean Payton? Do they have the New Orleans Saints around them? Is he Drew Brees? No. So, Willis is not Drew Brees, bro. Stop reaching, Frankie. Bro, that what you threw out got absolutely abolished. It's over. Okay? There's no Sean Payton here, and the talent around Drew Brees was way better than the talent that there's here, and Drew Brees is 10 times the quarterback than Malik Willis is. And super proven by the time you got him in New Orleans compared to what you're getting now. It's like not even close. You saw 2 full seasons of Drew Brees as a starter. That, my friend, is huge. that you're getting a really good feel for what you're getting. You know what you're getting. We have no idea what we're getting here. None of us know. They don't know. They don't even know. So, yeah. Got to let it go, bro. It's not a good comparison. Think Blue Dodgers is checking in from L.A. Breeze was early second. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. I remember some of the mock drafts predicted the Dolphins picking him in the first round. Yep. Yeah, I remember. Yes, I remember. Big O, what is a good wallet for cryptocurrency? For beginners, I would always go with Tangem. Tangem is the best and the easiest wallet and super safe and all that stuff. That I would say that's what you would go. Go to tangem.com. TANGEM.com. Go directly to the website. Don't buy it from a third party. Don't buy it on Amazon or anywhere else. Don't ever do that. Never, ever, ever, ever. I don't care if you want to buy a Trezor. Whatever wallet you want to buy, make sure you go directly to the website of the company and buy it from them and have them ship it to you. Never, ever third party, because you never know if they open it and then repackage it and copy, for Tangem it's different because you can't copy the cards. So you're safe there in that sense. But other wallets, the seed phrases and all that, you don't want to get caught up with that. But either way, buy it directly from the company, whoever it is that you decide. Ledger, I don't give a shit. Trezor, whatever company you think is the best wallet for you, then make sure you buy it directly from that company. That's the best way to do it. Okay? Not financial advice, but just being honest. Let's see, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Rob Erickson, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Appreciate you. Oh, sorry for this repetitive question. Could you please share what's the truth about the Breeze Saban situation? Heard so many stories on what's the truth. Well, the truth is that Saban didn't want to pay Breeze. Breeze wanted a certain amount of money guarantees, and he was coming off the injury. The Dolphin doctors were more willing to take the chance on Culpepper than Breeze because they were more familiar with knee injuries than shoulder injuries. But the problem was the call was for the coach. The coach is the one that's going to make the call in the end. And he went and he was refusing to pay the money for Drew Brees since he was coming off that shoulder surgery. But New Orleans had just gone through a few years before that with Aaron Brooks, who they traded for from the Green Bay Packers, by the way, from Ron Wolf. They traded a 4th-round pick, I believe, for Aaron Brooks. And Aaron Brooks was a decent quarterback, had a whip of an arm, but he also ended up with a shoulder injury. And they had to rehab that shoulder injury. So the New Orleans doctors had familiarity with a rotator cuff type injury. It wasn't exactly like Drew Brees's. It was in a little different place. But because of some of the similarities to the shoulder injury, they were willing to take the chance and wanted to bring in Drew Brees. And so that's where Sean Payton and Nick Saban, take your pick, baby. One guy had the balls. The other guy did not. One guy does an onside kick at halftime in the Super Bowl, and the other guy never even gets to a Super Bowl. So, this is the way it goes. So if you're going to blame anybody, you blame Nick Saban for screwing that up, and you blame, of course, Dave Wanstead for initially screwing it up. Because Dave should have drafted Drew Brees, and Saban should have signed Drew Brees. But when you get sullied, this is what happens. We're the only franchise that makes 3 Hall of Famers look like dog shit. Jimmy Johnson looked like an incompetent shithead here. Bill Parcells looked like an incompetent shithead here. And Nick Saban made decisions like an incompetent shithead here. sullied. Anyway, let's see. Good morning to you, Ted. What else? Stream is messed up. I don't know. You're the only one that's complained about the stream. I haven't seen that yet.
Ted was messed up.
Oh, Ted's drinking, smoking. Yeah, I see Ted. Ted, come on, bro. Straighten out a little bit here. Have a little water. Balance it out, baby. By the way, think about that. How screwed up is that? 3 Hall of Famers come here and they look like dog shit. It's crazy. Really is crazy. I just tuned in. What's the TUA cap number? Rewind. The guy's on the show all the time. You don't know you have no idea how the whole thing works out here. You know, Ted, I don't go repeating segments. That's for QAM. Okay, they get the big commercial breaks. They get the 30 minutes of commercial breaks in an hour, and they repeat segments and replay interviews and do all that lazy shit. You're used to listening to QAM. I don't do that, bro. I do real talk radio, and I move on. So I'm sorry, my brother. Just got to rewind. That's the beauty of on demand. Breeze was a student of Marty Ball. I don't know, but the Marty was potting. That's for sure. Not even a few months into his tenure, and already has a negative nickname for no. Sean Stanley, could you bring up the definition of sullied? Read the definition of sullied for folks out there. When one is sullied, what happens? Explain it to this young man here. It's just a coinkydink that we have a guy that his nickname is Sully. But the sullied stuff happens here all the time. Go ahead.
Sullied, derived from the verb sully, describes something that has been made dirty, stained, or tarnished, both literally and figuratively.
Parcells, before, and Dolphins, sullied. Saban, before and after. In the middle, sullied. I mean, what can I tell you, dude? I can't answer this kind of stuff. Jimmy Johnson comes here, sullied. It's a Dolphin thing. It's not a Sullivan thing. It's up to him to not get sullied. But I'm just using off his name the coinkydink that what happens to people here kind of just goes with his name. So that's all. So I'm hoping Sully doesn't get sullied. But right now, it looks it. Just looks it. So, you know, it's a play on words, young man. You know, catch up a little bit here. Anyway, let's see. QM Neo God, yeah, those were the days. Miles Deep out in Vegas. I've been working 2 jobs out here in Vegas. That's why when people say, "Oh, there's a lot of Americans," a lot of Americans are working 2 and 3 jobs to survive. Oh yeah, the market is it's not that healthy either, bro. It's just people are struggling and they got to work 2 jobs like Miles Deep. Hang in there, brother. And I know that Vegas is rough too, man. They're so down on tourists in Vegas. It's crazy. And what's gone on in Vegas is criminal, dude. They have priced themselves out. Plus, you add Trump, who obviously has killed the travel industry, because lots of people don't want to come here because of ICE and everything going on. The ICE thing has actually hurt our tourist industry. Billions of dollars we've lost. Not just Canadians, but all over the world. People just don't want to come because they don't want to. They get taken by ICE and disappeared for a couple of days. Oh, I'm sorry, we made a mistake. It's like, what is this, dude? They take you away. They don't read your rights. They don't do anything. You don't even know who. They don't even know who they take away. They take away Americans every day now. And it's like, and they have all this. That's why this whole thing has got to be railed in. And Vegas has suffered a lot because of the Orange Man. So I'm not surprised. Things are rough in Vegas, my brother. Hang in there, Miles Deep. Hang in there, dude. Eric says thank you. Oh, was that the wallet question, I guess? Let's see. There has to be another team that has had 3 Hall of Famers made them dog crap. The Lions or Bears or Browns have probably done it. I'd have to sit back and think, Frankie. All I know is, dude, listen, I don't need to know about somebody else's misery to make me feel any better, Frankie. Okay? I feel like shit already because of my own team. You know what I mean? So it's I would love to feel good. I want Sully and Half to be monsters, bro. I want Malik Willis to be a star. Not an average guy, not a mediocre guy, not terrible. No, that doesn't do any good for me. I need him to be a star because they haven't been able to find a quarterback since that guy back there. So, it's crazy. I need him to be, but I'm not doing that where I sit here and become a cheerleader just because I want him to succeed. If I don't like something, I'm going to say it, bro. I get it, dude. When it starts, most of the media, they're scared shitless of, by the way, who in the media outside of me hates the move or says this move doesn't make sense? I'm just wondering, anybody out there, do you know a media member, a legit media member I'm talking about? Is there a legit media member that is dissing the move in a sense like I am? Like, this is not the move you need to do right now. I'm just wondering, so because it's not popular to do that, because then all of a sudden you turn off your listener, your fan, you know what I mean? Because some of them they want to have that hopium a little bit, but hey, I give you a thorough explanation why. Okay. By the way, the Dolphins have just tweeted out that they have signed Malik Willis officially to a contract. So there you go. All right. Big O, your occasional tongue-in-cheek comments are both acknowledged and appreciated. Thank you, sir. But you pick up on all of them. You're a smart dude. Some folks, it kind of goes by them, So this guy thought I was calling Sully Sullied. Like that's his new nickname. And it's like, no, dude, that's a term I'm using off his name for our history. That it's just interesting, Diction. Very important, folks. Okay, I know you're only worried about the first 3 letters, but really you should also worry about the shun also. Let's see what else. Big O, would you consider the 2008 team better than any team we've had since they did win the last division? Yeah, they were pretty good. They were pretty balanced back in those days. The Wani teams were good, dude. Our Wani teams were actually our best teams. It's just that Jay was not good enough. If the Dolphins had, if Marino could have been, push it back a little bit more, we would have been all right. We would have been all right. But that was it. But that Jason Taylor team with Ricky and Chambers and all those guys, that team was good enough to make some noise. It's just if you didn't have the quarterback, and that defense was good enough. It wasn't like that defense was not like the 70s defense. I'm not going to tell you they were super like, oh my God, all timers, but it was generational enough that you would have been able to win a title if you had a quarterback. but they weren't good enough. They weren't like the Ravens or the Tampa Bay Bucks or the Eagles of recently here, where they were so freaking physically dominant, or even Seattle, that they can choke you out. They weren't that defense, but they were good enough that they'd limit you to 14, 17 points. The problem is that if you needed them to do that all the way throughout the whole season, that's not what they were going to do. They were just not going to be able to do that. They weren't that good. Okay. But they were good enough to win a Super Bowl. It's just we didn't have the quarterback then, unfortunately. But that team was good enough to make some noise. And if you had a real QB, if we had Marino in his prime with the Wani teams, I think we got a shot at a title. Definitely. That team is better than the team he took to the title. So, it's just bad timing. When we were at least our best team, we didn't have the QB. So it sucks, man. It sucks being us as Dolphins fans. It's not bad being a Heat fan and a Panthers fan. You know what I'm saying? Hell, the Marlins are a joke, but at least we have 2 titles, that we can like recently talk about. Not that recent, but better than the Dolphins. So many people are gone since the Dolphins won a title, and very few people are around that actually watch the Dolphins title. So yeah, it's kind of rough, dude. Miles Deep says everyone in the media is praising Malik for the Dolphins. I think it's crap personally. I prefer a QB, not a damn runner. I always would take accuracy and arm strength and awareness than running abilities. I'm with you 100%. 100%. You guys, if you know me well, my first and foremost characteristic that any QB must have: can you live from the pocket? If that answer is no, I don't want you. If you have to run in order to be a good quarterback, I want no part of you. None whatsoever. If you can run and get first downs every once in a while because it breaks down, that's great. But the times that you have a wicked defense and they keep you inside that pocket, I need you to beat them. And if you can't beat them like that, I have no use for you. That's Lamar Jackson, by the way. I have no use for you. I'm not going to count on your gimmick and a super dominant offensive team and defensive team in order for you to win. I'm not doing that. It can happen, no doubt. Look at Jalen Hurts. He ain't shit as a passer, and he won a Super Bowl. Lamar's way better than him, and I don't want either guy on my team. But I'm completely with Miles Deep on this one. I need my quarterback to make a living from the pocket. Then we can talk. If you cannot make a living from the pocket, I want nothing to do with you. I'm not doing that shit. The running quarterback is going to suffer injuries, take too many hits, and it's just, yeah. I'm fanned up and talked myself into Malik being the next great Dolphins QB. There we go, Travis. Hey, man, Travis might be right. That's the beauty of all of this. You want to take – I get it, man. Listen, the Dolphin fan that says we're going to win 11 games every year and 12 games and all that kind of stuff, one day you'll be right. Every other year you'll be wrong. But there'll be one day that you'll be right. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you're right now, man. I hope so. But by the way, and as I've said before in other rants, I think it was like 2 days ago, the only way the Malik Willis move is a good one is if he's a star. If he's average, below average, bad, you made a stupid move. Because if he helped you win an extra game or two, for what? So you brought in an average or below average quarterback to help you win a couple of extra games and hurt you in draft position? That doesn't make any sense. If you're bringing a quarterback because you're going to want to be a playoff team and all that moving forward, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But you're not even at that stage right now. Iran has ramped up retaliatory attacks on energy supplies and transport facilities across the Middle East, with strikes on 2 foreign oil tankers in Iraqi waters on Thursday, leaving them ablaze and killing at least one person while 38 crew members were rescued. And plus, in Oman, they bombarded their oil refinery too. They had to take out the ships and all that. This idiot had no plans whatsoever. Zero plans. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The amazing Alan Blanco. If you need custom printing and embroidery, 786-618-1443. Tonight, the Heat are back in action. They take on the Bucks at 7:30. On the ice, the Panthers are back in action. They will host the Blue Jackets at 7 o'clock. Last night in CONCACAF Champions Cup action, Nashville and Inter played to a 0-0 draw. They will now take on Charlotte in MLS play on Saturday at 7:30. That is crazy, dude. Also, Saturday at 7:30 at Beyond Bankcard Field, Fort Lauderdale United are hosting Jacksonville, and Brianna Scurry, by the way, will hold a soccer camp before the game. And if you have a child that wants to go get be part of a soccer camp for a legend, an American legend, a Hall of Famer when it comes to soccer and in women's soccer, Brianna Scurry, the All-American is going to be there. The All-World goalie is going to be there. And if you want to take part, go to FTLUTD.com. You can also get your tickets for the match on Saturday against Jacksonville at Beyond Bankcard Field. Yesterday, in World Baseball Classic, the DR beat Venezuela 7-5. They finished 4-0. Venezuela finishes 3-1. Italy pounded Mexico, dude, 9-1. So Italy and the USA advance. So DeRosa's ass is saved. ACC tournament quarterfinals tonight. Number 24, Louisville taking on Miami. And Louisville, by the way, is favored by 1.5. The over and under is 153.5. Louisville's minus 125 on the money line. UM is plus 100 on the money line if you're feeling, a little brave there. On the Dolphins side, Bradley Chubb signs a 3-year deal worth $43.5 million with the Buffalo Bills. Could be valued up to $52.5. He gets $29 million guaranteed. So the 29-year-old gets $29 million guaranteed. Dolphins made several moves, signing Darrell Baker, the cornerback, Zane Anderson, the safety, Matthew Butler, the defensive tackle, A.J. Green, the cornerback, Willie Gay, the linebacker, Lonnie Johnson, the DB, and they officially released Tua and Chubb. That's why he signed, and Tua obviously is moving on also. By the way, cap-wise, the news is Tua's cap number this year will be $55.4 million, and next year in 2027, $43.8 million. Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald reported that. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. All right, what do we have here? Hateful Steve is in the house. You know why ICE doesn't read Miranda warnings? Because they're enforcing civil law, and Sean can verify. Dude, they take people and they don't return them for 2 or 3 days. Get the hell out of here with that bullshit. Look, I get it, dude. You're a far righty. You're locked into Trump. You make every excuse for the pedophile. I get it, dude. The guy screws kids and blows them up. I got it, bro. I got it. You defend everything that goes on the far right. Go for it, dude. Go ahead. You bleeding heart Democrats and you Trumpies. You people are the ones destroying everything. So you go ahead and keep pushing all this bullshit. I'm glad they shut it all down, okay? Because they need to shut down ICE. That shit is disgraceful. It's un-American. It's communist. It's crap, okay? That's what's going on. So it's all right, dude. I'm not backing anybody that kills and rapes kids or protects pedophiles. Yeah, that's not my deal, bro. It's not my deal. Not doing that. Sorry. So appreciate it, Steve. But yeah, far left, far right, you're going to die here on the vine, bro. I'm going to fry your ass left and right. Okay? So don't come at me from your left bullshit or your right bullshit, because I'm going to crush it every single time. And I've got all the ammo and you've got none of it. Okay? So if you're all for protecting pedophiles, you go ahead, man. You go ahead. You're all for it. You go ahead. You guys want to back up somebody that wants to hide all the files? You go ahead, man. You go ahead. And bombing kids and everything, go ahead. We're good. That's the America you want us to represent. You go for it. So, that's all right. Clown ass parties on both sides, and all they give us are criminals and thieves. That's all we got every single 4 years. Thieves and criminals, and what's going on now is absolutely criminal. So, anyway, did you see the gas prices in Well, everything in California is expensive, so I would imagine if we're like at $3.50, $3.75, they've got to be over $5 to $6, right? Something like that, I would imagine, because they're usually like $1. I mean, but California, again, that's the idiot that's next. Newscomb. They're going to give us that moron next. That's what it's all a political pendulum. They get tired of one side, then they go to the other side, and they'll get tired of this idiot, and they'll go for whatever idiot they give us on the other side. And that's what it is. But if you want to be a sucker for these people, you go ahead and be a sucker for these people. It's not my style, dude. It's not my style. So, anyway, actually, ICE has all the ammo, and Exeth has all the lobster talk, all the lobster tails. Yeah. Waste, huh? Did you see that? All that money, bought a grand piano for a general for $100,000. Here you got the Barbie bitch on a horse for $220 million. Everything that they talk about is everything that they commit. Every crime that they tell everybody else that does, that's exactly what they're doing. It's amazing. And how stupid people are that they keep falling for all these lies. He's just, there's a video out of him talking about how gas prices destroy the country in 2011, 2000. Now he's talking that, no, I'm good. The gas prices are high. We make more money because we're the second highest importer in the world. Meanwhile, Americans are paying more money for gas and for everything else because gas prices are going to go up. This guy's like a first-class idiot. And the people that follow him are even dumber because he continues to lie to them over and over and over and over again, and they just continue to follow like suckers, bro. Like suckers. It's amazing, dude. It's amazing. I got to tell you something. If you guys get a chance, for you single guys out there, here's a tip for you single guys out there. Find a MAGA woman. You can cheat and lie at that bitch all you want. You can have 3 wives. You can have 10 girlfriends. She's used to lying and cheating. That's a norm for her. So that's what they do to her all the time, lie and cheat. So find a MAGA woman. She loves lying and cheating. It's awesome. It'll make you better. You can do all you want. You can grift too. She's in for it all. Doesn't matter. So it's all good. Where were you? I was hanging out with the fellas, and you come back and you got glitter all over the place and kisses and everything. I was just hanging out with the fellas. Oh, okay, no problem, honey. Best woman to marry. Best woman to marry, right there. True Fin Fan says, I have family members that just moved to West Palm Beach, Florida. They came from Cali, and they say it's like living in, oh, God, California is a wasteland, dude. California, Oregon, Washington, they got so much trouble out there. Oh, God, that's crazy-ass left people running that shit. That's all we got in this country, dude. Crazy-ass right, crazy-ass left. There's not enough of us in the middle. There's not enough of us. Forget about it, dude. There's not enough of us in the middle. Forget about it. Republicans will never put a Rand Paul there. He's good. He's actually more fiscally responsible than the rest of those idiots. He's usually against fiscally all the stuff that Trump does illegally, like wars and tariffs and all of that. He's against it. He won't be popular in that one. Andy Bashir for the Democrats. He's not part of that far left crap. he'll never get selected by that group ever. The people that actually can be half decent, I'm not saying they're perfect, but the ones that can be like half decent candidates, they have no shot at their party. No shot. None whatsoever. They need the people that are radical to each far extreme. It's amazing, dude. It's amazing. Grifters all. Don't get me started on Bernie Sanders. Yeah, dude, give me a break. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. That's as dirty as it gets. She's disgusting, dude. I hate that woman. I can't stand that woman. Her and Trump are probably the two people I hate the most in politics. I hate Elizabeth Warren. What a bitch-ass gas bag, dude. God bless. Seriously. Anyway, Tombstone. Two wings of the same bird. The political system is broken and corrupt. That's right, bro. They're so far left, far right, they met in the middle on the other side. Exactly. But, we have too many people that are like, they haven't figured that out yet. How they're getting used. They haven't figured it out. It's sad, man. It's really sad. It's really sad. So, like I've said 100 times, Elizabeth Warren and Donald Trump agreed both that the debt ceiling should be eliminated. That's all you need to know, dude. That's all you need. Now you know why I hate those two the most, right there. That's it. The Orange Man and Pocahontas. Freaking amazing, dude. How much do you want to bet the gas prices will stay this high even after the Iran war goes away? I don't know. Well, actually, you're right. Actually, you're very right. The gas prices will stay high. Why? Because you have now disrupted the entire system. It is now going to take months for it to be ramped up again and get it going in the same groove that it was, and where the amount of millions of barrels that were flowing on a daily basis. So actually, you are 100% right, Frankie. That is exact. It's already set to last longer than whenever it finishes because of that. You are correct, sir. I don't know if you're saying it just to say it, or did you know the reason why it would happen? And I'm telling you the reason why it would happen. And that's why. Because everything has been set back and it'll take months to get it back going again. Yes, sir.
The Dolphins have re-signed Riley Patterson. So there's a kicker competition between Riley Patterson and Zane Gonzalez. The Dolphins competitions are underway, baby.
Yes. How about the QB competition? Huh? How about the QB competition? Is there a QB competition with Quinn Ewers and Malik Willis? For all the QB competition people out there. Of course, that's so important in the QB competitions. Yeah. How much, let's see, Big O, would you consider that, if anything, you lean towards being a libertarian? I don't, bro, I'm an American, and I want what's right. Period. Don't want tariffs. I don't want men in women's sports. I just want what is common sense. I don't want ICE. If you wanted to get rid of the criminals, bro, I'm all. We're all for that. I'm not for getting rid of landscapers and people that are cleaning your houses. These people have been here for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. They're teachers. They're all kinds of jobs. They're actually productive citizens. If they don't have a criminal record, why are we getting rid of people? Put them in line. Make them citizens. That's what we're supposed to do. Now you're hurting the jobs. Now the job market has crashed, dude. Crashed. The far-right idiots won't say anything about it, but if you look at the numbers, completely tanking like I wish the Dolphin season would. All I want is common sense in the world. That's all. And I can steal some from the left and I can steal some from the right. Just common sense. That's it. Look what's going on with ICE. All they want is cameras, and they want stuff to just the normal stuff to, if you're going to have you need a warrant to break into someone's house, not just break into anybody's house. What kind of bullshit is that, dude? That can't happen. You got to follow proper. We're not a third world country. We're America, dude. People have rights. And what is this? We got to walk around with papers? The hell is this? Russia or something? I just want common sense, dude. That's all I want. I don't care about liberals, and I don't care about conservatives, and I just don't care, dude. I just try to be in the middle of this whole thing. And that's it. And I try to find the common sense ground on it. And there is no common sense on the far left, and there's no common sense on the far right. That's all I see. Okay? So just like extreme things or woke things it's all crap, dude. It's all crap. And it's all there to get us fighting against each other and all that kind of crap. It's disgusting. And so for me, I'll fight with everybody instead. And I'll tell you the left sucks and the right sucks because I see it, and nothing makes you more in the middle than this. Nothing. Because you really find out economically and fiscally how both of them are the same exact monster. You know what I mean? All the other culture war stuff, whatever, dude. Whatever, I'm not for any of that stuff. But yeah, it's just common sense, dude. It's gone. Completely gone. That's all. Let's see. Big O crushing the left and the right also. I always do that. It's just when one side hears anything from the other, then they think you're from the other side, or they think you are this or that. And it's just like, and they can't handle any of their own criticism. By the way, you want to have fun with a Trumpy? Sit down with that Trumpy and tell him, hey, give me 3 things you hate about Trump. Because the easiest thing is to come up with 3 things you hate about any politician in the history of mankind. Any politician. And they won't even come up with one. Because it's inside of them that it's like against their DNA, because they can't even admit any honesty at all. None whatsoever, dude. And that's sad. That's a cult. So yeah, it's bad, dude. It's bad. I give the left at least some credit. They kicked the old man out. They put another idiot in place, but they actually figured out, hey, our dude is half dead. People don't want him. Oh, wow, you idiots figured that out, that nobody wants Biden? Wow, it's amazing. Oh, but let's put Harris in place. So that's how you got Trump elected. That's what Democrats don't figure that out. We have shitty candidates. That's why they're picking Trump. Warren, Bernie, Hillary, Harris, Biden. I mean, are you kidding me, bro? That's below dog shit. It's crazy. Anyway, so it's fun. I enjoy picking on both sides. So that's kind of the way I am. You don't like it? Too bad, bro. I don't really care. I've never cared. I never will. You know what I'm saying? The show is to share my opinion and the way I see things. You like it? Good. You don't? Hey, man. There's plenty of options out there. I'm not forcing you to do a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It's crazy. Ryan Clark on ESPN has Malik Willis as the second best free agent signing right now on First Take. You called the Big O gaslighting us. Yeah, it's off-season BS, and then they'll be killing the kid if he struggles and all that kind of stuff. I hope he succeeds. I hope I'm so wrong. I hope you people just assassinate me here on the chat board or whatever. Or you go when I'm at a live show. Malik is the best. You suck. Fine, I'll deserve it, bro. I'll take it all day long. Okay, anything. I'll do anything for a great Dolphins team. Anything. I am hitting 60 in a few months. I don't have much time left, dude. When they won it wasn't like a lot of fun for me because I was a child. I was 7 and 8 years old. You don't really enjoy it. It's nothing. I watched it, but it's like, it's not the same. It's just not the same. I watch it, and if the Dolphins win a Super Bowl now, I may have a heart attack because I've been waiting for this damn thing for so long. It's insane. It really is. Anyway. Sniffy Joe Biden. Sniffy, creepy, half dead. Just, oh my God. Disgraceful. Let me tell you something. I'd put his ass in jail for what he did at the border. That is a criminal act, what he did at the border, just letting people walk in. He's lucky that he's already dead. But if he was like a young president, brother, I'd want to throw his ass in jail forever for doing that. Like, how irresponsible that is. That's one of the good things that Trump did, just shut the border down. I give him credit for that. Making NATO spend 5%. Yeah, big time credit for that. He does a couple things. There's a couple things. I can be honest. I can compartmentalize, but there's so much that's evil and wrong, so it is what it is. So what are you going to do? This is the Big O Show. It's never changed. O has been authentic to who he is. Thank you, Chad, but you've known me for a long, long time. You know me on, you know me off the air. You know that's how I am. I'm just not, I don't do shit for fluff. I don't do shit for, to try to gaslight you people. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. That's not who I am, bro. Just like most of the media now, even if they don't feel that Willis signing is good, they're not going to come out and say it because right now it's not like a advantageous thing for their business. So they'd rather feed you good. And then if it falls off, then they can then get on the bandwagon because everybody else will get on the bandwagon. They don't want to be the person that is uncomfortable. I have no problem being that uncomfortable person. As you all know, when Flo was in the middle of a winning streak, I'm telling you, he's getting fired. That's who I am. Okay? When Jimmy Butler takes you to the second trip to the title, that's when I tell you, trade him now. That's who I am. Will any media member do that? No. When X catches 10 interceptions, I'm the only one that's got the balls and the guts to say, this is the time to move him. And guess what? I haven't been wrong on any of these things. Why? Because I'm willing to do the uncomfortable. Because it makes sense. Because in the end, I look good. I don't look bad. I might piss you off. You're an asshole. You want to trade Jimmy Butler after he took us to a second trip to the titles right now? You're a jerk. A year later, you're like, man, we should have done that. Oh, man, we should have traded X. Everybody got on the Atlanta bandwagon for Tua last couple. Oh, no, it makes sense. This, that, yeah. Say it 2 months ago when he's still on the team, when the seasons are still, when football season's still going on. Say it then. A whole different ball game, dude. It's a whole different ball game. So I am willing to say things that are what I think is right, even if it's uncomfortable. But I'm not doing it for clicks. I'm not doing it for shock value because look at the results in the end. There wasn't any shock behind it at all. I told you Messi was signing. People didn't believe it. Did I not, Sean? Did I not for like a year tell people, maybe about a year, Messi signing, Messi's coming. Oh no. So, I tell you guys what I feel, and that's, at least I don't do it for a show, for clicks, for gaslighting, for nothing. Don't do any of that. There, QB competition. No, everybody talks about QB competitions, and it doesn't exist. It's the biggest myth in the world in the NFL, and yet we have people that actually try to sell you that. Thank you, Kosa. Psych. That's a bunch of bullshit, dude. Why are you lying to people? Or did you not pick that up on yourself, that there's no such thing as QB competitions in the NFL? If you have a QB competition, then that means you're the Cleveland Browns. You're sitting there because you have no quarterback. So you have no idea who your quarterback is. That's a QB competition. But everybody else that knows who their QB is, there's no competition at all. Sean, do me a favor. Give me 30 seconds, please.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go! Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
All right. Thank you all out there. Let's see. Long Island, Pete Prisco agrees with you about Willis. Oh, he doesn't like the signing either? Okay. I just don't think it's something that you need right now, to be quite honest. It's just there's a time and a place for everything, and this wasn't the time or the place to add a young quarterback behind a bad football team. Just that doesn't make sense to me. But we're going to find out how good of a coach Half is, because if they can make him look good, then he is good and they're good. So let's hold out for that. All right, let's start off with birthdays, musicians, and birthdays. Pete Doty, who's had a ton of issues away from the stage, guitarist, vocalist for the English rock band The Libertines, born in 1979. Born in 1977, Ben Kenny, bassist for Incubus. Let's see who else is celebrating birthdays today. Marlon Jackson from the Jackson 5, born in 1957. Steve Harris, my favorite bassist of all time, from my favorite metal band of all time, Iron Maiden, born in 1956. Jack Green, musician, songwriter with T-Rex, born in 1951. Mike Gibbons, drummer with Badfinger, born in 1949. Bill Payne, co-founder with Lowell George of the rock band Little Feat, born in 1949. James Taylor, born in 1948, the legend. Liza Minnelli, born in 1946. Al Jarreau, I love Al Jarreau. God, he's so good. Born in 1940, rest in peace. We lost him in 2017 at the age of 76, 2 days after he announced his retirement. It's crazy. Anyways, those are musicians. Let's go with other famous people. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means, unfortunately, they have passed away. And writer Jack Kerouac, born in 1922. Let's see. Entrepreneur Herb Kelleher, born in 1931. Basketball Hall of Fame member Eddie Sutton, Oklahoma State, right? Eddie Sutton, born in 1936. Rest in peace. Former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney, born in 1947. He's 79. Actor Courtney B. Vance, born in 1960, 66 today. New York Mets Hall of Fame member Darryl Strawberry, born in 1962. He is 64. Toot, toot. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays today. Writer Dave Eggers, born in 70, he is 56. Comedian actor Ron Funches, born in 83, he's 43. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers for me, sir?
Yes, sir, we do. And Narqua is 52. The great Kenta turns 45. The magnificent Mae Young was born on this date in 1923. Nydia, she turns 47. Nunzio, also known as Little Guido in ECW, is 54. And the Red Rooster, Terry Taylor, he turned 71 on March 12th, 2026.
All right. Okay. Our market continues to struggle, down 565 points right now. And Bitcoin is actually up a little bit, over 70,000 again, 70,394, barely in the green, barely. All right, let's go with music history. What happened today in music history? And we start off in 68 with the Rolling Stones started recording their single, Jumpin' Jack Flash. He's a guess. The new producer, Jimmy Miller, at Olympic Studios in London. Keith Richards said he and Jagger wrote the lyrics while staying at Richards' country house while they were awakened one morning by the sound of a gardener, Jack Dyer. When Jagger asked what the noise was, Richard responded, "Oh, that's Jumpin' Jack. That's Jack, the Jumpin' Jack." There you go. In 69, Paul McCartney married Linda Eastman in London on this date. In 80, Billy Joel released his 7th studio album, Glass Houses. He was on such a roll. It features It's Still Rock and Roll to Me, You May Be Right, I May Be Crazy, and Don't Ask Me Why. In 81, Bow Wow Wow were forced to cancel the first dates of the UK tour after Greater London Council warned the singer, Annabella Lewin, age 15, would be guilty of truancy. That's skipping school. Just 15. By the way, she was hot. And the early days, like there was a picture of her and she had like no bra on. And she used to wear these shirts that had the sides open. So you kind of saw some side breast action. And she was a minor. And so that was kind of a problem back in the day. So Annabella Lewin and Bow Wow Wow, if you ever want to find out about the story and all that, it's kind of interesting and creepy and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, check it out. In 82, The Jam released their 6th and final studio album, The Gift. It features the singles Town Called Malice, their biggest song. Right? Biggest song. Anyway, Precious and Just Who Is the 5 O'Clock Hero. I was very fortunate to see him in concert in Seattle. Not last year, the season before when we went to Seattle. I got to see the lead singer, man, do his thing, and that was awesome. He sung stuff from the Jam, Style Council, and his solo stuff. I love Paul Weller. I'm a huge Paul Weller fan. Love his solo stuff. And then everything from the Jam and the Style Council, I'm a huge fan. Paul Weller, for me, is an absolute stud, man. In 91 on this date, REM released Out of Time. Their 7th studio album, Out of Time, elevated REM's status from a cult band to a renowned international act, and Out of Time topped the album sales charts in both the United States and the United Kingdom, selling more than 4.5 million copies in the U.S. and more than 18 million copies worldwide. Later, at the Grammy Awards in 92, Out of Time won Best Alternative Music Album. Let's see. In 2001, Daft Punk released their 2nd album, Discovery, which marked a change in their musical direction from house to electronic disco, taking a leaf from fellow European electronic artist Kraftwerk. They chose to hide their faces, performing and appearing in music videos, wearing stylized robotic helmets. It features One More Time, aerodynamic, harder, better, faster, stronger. In 2007, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Patti Smith, REM, the Ronettes, and Van Halen were all inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All well-deserving. In 2003, sadly, Clive Burr, drummer with Iron Maiden, died in his sleep in London 4 days after his 56th birthday due to complications related to MS. In 2016, Ariana Grande hosted Saturday Night Live, where she met cast member Pete Davidson. The pair would go on to get engaged, but did not marry. Davidson, however, was mentioned in Grande's 2018 song, Thank You. Next. By the way, if you go back and look at the Ariana Grande Saturday Night Live appearances, have you ever caught her imitating other singers? Oh my God. She is maybe the best in the business imitating other singers. Okay? I don't know if have you seen that skit, Sean? Where they make her like sing different singers and stuff like that? Have you seen her do that? Oh man. You pull it up on YouTube or whatever. You know, I don't care if you like her music or don't like her music or whatever, dude. She's super talented. That's not here or there. That's not to be even argued. Okay, her voice is freaking awesome, but you have got to catch her singing like Miley Cyrus, if I remember correctly. She's I think she did. God, what's her name? That I'm not a big fan of hers, but she's obviously a marvelous singer. Poor woman has a health issue now. She was always in Vegas. What's her name, man? Oh, God.
Celine Dion?
Huh?
Celine Dion?
Yes, Celine Dion. She even does Celine Dion, dude. Like, that's a voice that is like, you don't do voice. Like, you don't do Whitney Houston or Celine Dion, or you don't mess with voices like that, because it's just like, yeah, I'm not like on the male side. You don't do any Freddie Mercury songs because you just don't. You embarrass yourself. You know, that kind of shit. And she has the voice that will not embarrass herself in anything that she wants to do. Really good. Like really, really, really talented. All right, let me see if there's any other birthdays on this list that wasn't before. Well, Graham Coxon, lead guitarist and secondary vocalist for Blur. He is 57. I like Blur. Good band. And singer-songwriter Holly Williams, granddaughter of Hank, is 45. Those were two things. Over there. Yeah, she did Celine. Oh, there you go. You got it. Celine Dion. She does a good Shakira and Christina Aguilera. Yes. I mean, she is, dude. It's hilarious. It's funny. And it's like impressive at the same time, because it's like a call-in center or something, and then they like make her. I forgot how the whole thing is, but it's like they throw it at her, and then she has to like all of a sudden start ad-libbing it right away, and it's really, really good, dude. Really good, really good. Worth the watch. Put it that way. She looks more normal in those days too. She is too skinny now. What is it with some of these women? It's all right to eat a sandwich. It's all right. You can have a little weight on you, man. Anorexia is not really a sexy look, by the way, ladies. Just want you to know. Bones and skin. I mean, if you're going to apply for a haunted house, okay, you just need the makeup and you're done. You're ready to go. You don't even need a mask. I get that. But if you're not doing that, ladies, eat a sandwich. Rice and beans. Plátano maduro. Come on, you know. I don't understand that this whole thing, like, wow, yo, slow down. Not good. I don't want to reach around my wife and Grab her sides and I'm feeling ribs. Like, what the hell is going on here? You know? So, yeah, that's it's kind of weird. Like I told you, I'm going to give you my opinion. Doesn't matter. Anyway, Panthers are calling up defenseman Mike Benning from the AHL, says David Dwork. Okay. By the way, Iran's supreme leader, Mujtaba, whatever the hell, Khamenei, I guess, says all U.S. military bases in the region should immediately close or be attacked. These are some crazy bastards you took on, bro. This is in Venezuela, and again, no insult, but you know, that's Mickey Mouse compared to the crazy bastards you're dealing with now. Ariana Grande does a lot of that with Jimmy Fallon on the Tonight Show. Yes, she's really good. Yeah, definitely. And Jimmy loves singers, obviously. Big O, the Italian baseball team are taking Italian espresso coffee shots. I know, I saw that. I saw in the highlights. I didn't watch the game, but I saw in the highlights that they were doing that kind of stuff and all that. Yeah. Yeah. Karen Carpenter died from that, unfortunately. Yes, she had that whole thing about her body, and she was so worried about it, and it's a shame, dude. It's a shame. That's different. But I'm talking about these women that are like crazy about losing weight, and they get so skinny, and it's like, that's not a good look. It's not a good look, man. You know, Ariana, like, if you look at her in those Saturday Night Live videos, she's fuller. She looks normal. Now she's like way skinny, dude. Way skinny. She looks like she weighs 82 pounds, bro. Soaking wet. You know? So, let's see. Mitchell, Reggie Bush is an A-Chan. Reggie Bush is a hell of a player, bro. And then you have Devery Henderson, which is like kind of, you're also missing that, a guy that can help you out. And Marcus Colston is not Waddle. Do you understand what the hell you're talking about? Marcus Colston's better than Waddle in what he does. That's a 6'2", no, wait a minute. How tall was Marcus Colston? I think Michael Thomas was 6'2" or 6'3". I think Marcus Colston might have been like 6'5" or something. A big possession receiver, bro. So yeah. It's completely, you're comparing apples and oranges. Devery Henderson and the smaller guys will do what Waddle does, but Colston was the big possession guy. He had 8 touchdowns that first year with them, then 11, then 5, 9, 7, 8, 10. This guy ended up with 72 touchdowns in his career. He's a good receiver, bro. Really good receiver. 1,038 yards his first year, 1,202, 760, 1074, 1023, 1143, 1154. Marcus Colston was a hell of a receiver, bro. Hell of a receiver. And he does what Waddle can't do. Big physical target, which is what you need with short quarterbacks. Again, stupidity in Miami, midget throwing to midgets, smart in New Orleans, a midget quarterback throwing to big receivers, big tight ends, and then you have your speedsters like Devery Henderson and other guys. Joe Horn, by the way, was a hell of a receiver. I don't know if you know anything about Joe Horn, but Joe Horn was also a good receiver. You see, what did Joe Horn do?
Ayo.
Yes.
Colston, 6'4", 225, ran a 40 and 4.5.
Yeah. See, if you're going to talk football on this show, you got to know what the fuck you're talking about. So anybody that compares Colston to Waddle, you have no idea what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Joe Horn, by the way, so you'll know since let me see. Oh, here we go. This is the one. Joe Horn was your Waddle. He was 6'1". Okay. And by the way, what did Joe Horn do in 2000? 1,340 yards and 8 touchdowns, 1,265 and 9. 2002, 13 and 12 and 7. He also had 1399 in 2004 with 11. So when you talk about the receiving core of Marcus Colston, Joe Horn, and Devery Henderson, along with Reggie Bush, there's no comparison to that, to what you have here in Miami, my brother. Okay? I get it. You're probably young. You probably didn't even watch it, so you probably don't know. That's cool, dude. That's cool. That's cool. But we're here to educate. That's all right. You can learn here on the show. Her impressions of other singers is incredible. Also, her appearance on the Tonight shows are exactly. That's what I mean. If you can catch her doing impressions, then don't pass it up, because she's really, really freaking talented. And it has nothing to do with liking her music or not. That doesn't matter to me. She's super talented, man. She's super talented. All right, we're out of here, folks. We appreciate all of you out there for tuning in and keeping it locked. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button if you made a donation. Thank you. And hit the notification bell. We are back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. live from Acura of Pembroke Pines. Saturday, 3 to 5 p.m. special time show. We're pushing it up a little bit more because we're going to accommodate Brianna Scurry. So we'll be done by 5. The game isn't on until 7:30, but we'll do the show from 3 to 5 on Saturday. So 6 shows this week. Appreciate Sean Stanley. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time. Same place. Same bat channel.
For over 16 years.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the